see what you hear what it said. They said tens of thousands. Then they come back and say 20,000. Did y'all catch that? Yeah. During the Civil War, authorities in Natchez, Mississippi, forced tens of thousands of freed slaves into camps built in what's known as the Devil's Punch Bowl. Historians estimate that in 1 year following the Union troops' arrivals in Natchez, up to 20,000 freed slaves died in contraband camps below steep bluffs. Come on now. I mean, you hear the contradiction in that one paragraph? Tens of thousands, not even say 20,000. Get the hell out of here. That's only 2 of 10,000. 2 times 10,000 is 20,000. They said tens of thousands, man. Wow. Researcher Paul Westwood states that when slaves left plantations, they ran to Natchez and were trapped there in an encampment. Black men were recaptured and forced to perform hard labor, while women and children were left in the punch bowls to die. Former director of Natchez City Cemetery, Don S. states, disease broke out among them, smallpox being the main one. You know they gave smallpox to them, just like they did the gas. And thousands died, and thousands died. They were begging to get out. Turn me loose and I'll go back, I'll go home back to the plantation. Anywhere but there, it's going to be difficult to get further physical data from the site, considering the bluffs are dangerous to navigate. Oftentimes, skeletal remains will wash up after flooding occurs on the Mississippi River, which is a constant reminder that unheard narratives of suffering and brutalization was waiting to be excavated. As Steve states, there's the Devil's Punch Bowl that has so many people that no one knows how they got killed or when. While the discovery of a massive grave is a great find for our historical record, it demonstrates just how deep the suffering was for black people who were considered free. Disheveled bones from brutalized bodies are all that are left to tell the stories of racism and white supremacy. I mean, bones just broken up of our bodies. This find also demonstrates just how little we still know about our ancestors, understanding our past health, and understanding our contemporary lives, and our lives for today. Though slavery may be an uncomfortable topic for our post-racial generation today, where we act as though slave ships were cruise ships, Punch Bowl serves as a reminder that black people were brutally dehumanized in this nation. And no matter how equal we all think we are, perhaps we can look to the ways that free enslaved people were treated to understand how we too might still have a tradition of discrimination in our own government today. With each peach tree that grows on the Devil's Punch Bowl land, let it serve as an inconvenient reminder to our comfortable lives that racism is alive, and that we can never forget the horrors of slavery. And Lord Yah, that's right. Straight up. That's something, right? That's pretty deep. And it said tens of thousands. So that could be 20,000, that could be up to 20,000 a year. In retrospect of tens of thousands, that's tens of thousands that was free. You know, like they say, hey, run over here. That's what it's going to be. That's why y'all got to be in the spirit. I keep telling you. When this go down, they say, hey, come over here. And people going to be running right to the trap that's set up for us. That's what happened. Like I always say, how they going to have the buses coming around and say, hey, we got food. Ain't no food for people. Hey, we got food. We drinking. They having a good time. Partying. Take you right to the concentration camp. So I say, what would a man give for his soul? It's like the woman and her 7 sons that died rather than eating the abomination, putting the abomination in their vessels. But what is rebellion? That's why 1 John 3 and 18, again, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue. Don't let us just talk about what you're going to do. We've got to be about this. But in deed and in truth. But your actions and in truth. Because that's a clear indication that the same thing that they done there, it can happen again. Because what are we looking to be? Free. When we be free, we're going to be able to have the kingdom that's prepared for us. But how are we going to receive this kingdom if you're going to follow who it is that cannot lead you in the right direction? Because you know it has to be a lot of people that will say, come on. We going over here, like I said, people knew to go there, they went there, but when they went there, they never got out. Because they killed them. You see, that's the whole thing. Over and over again. That you can read these scriptures, and the Most High is not a man he should lie. He already prophesied this. He prophesied it. And it's times that we can look at and say, wow, that happened. That really happened. Why the Most High can do what he's going to do? You know the ones that were trying to leave, they were being captured. Got a license to hunt us down. So I say, you think they just gave us up? We were just free? Oh, we're free. We wasn't free, man. We had to fight for our freedom. Ancestors went through a lot. And we're not free yet. Tell you what, you see how certain I like this. Let's check this out. Oh, you probably can't hear it. But like there's so many things that's happening right now for us as a people. That's why I say we gotta do works. We gotta put in work because the time is becoming near. We got 4 blood moons that's coming on the holy days of the Most High. You hear about the brother that got tased, he broke the window out. He was on the passenger side. Broke the window out, tased him, terrorized him for 13 minutes. Oh yeah, it's on. Looking at this Ebola virus coming up against really us. Ebola being Hebrew and La in Spanish is the. La in Hebrew is two. Could it be to the Hebrews? Something to think about, right? Because how is it that at least 4, maybe more, Edomites received See, I keep telling you it's spiritual. It's a spiritual warfare that we're fighting with demons in high places. But if you think just because your little world, your little comfort zone is comfortable right now, when it hypes up and you all of a sudden you're going to try and put in more than what you're doing now, and you're already accustomed to doing whatever it is that you're doing, might be too late. Might be too late. I hope it's not. It might be. So we got to really, really look at this. We only have each other. We only have each other. We got to do the best we can to make it in these trying times. This man knows that we got next. And he knows that we, as the Hebrew Israelites, are the ones. And he don't really care, it's just that he just against that pigment and melanin. He don't really care, it's just the fact that we are majority and they are minority. And we are growing so in number, even though we kill over 40 million in abortions every year. I mean, you can't really count because it's almost, like they said, statistics say 175,000 daily. 173,000, excuse me, something of that nature. So they give you that number, don't tell you how many it is. That's why you look at this. We as the Hebrew Israelites, this is what we're doing. This applies to us. And you look at it, it doesn't apply to anyone else when you read Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. I like to go there because I understand this. Because this is when the kingdom is going to come to us. And it's coming to us, it's coming without observation. It's coming, it's right in your face, but you can't see it because you're so caught up in the world. Most can't see it because they're so caught up in their own world. They got you know, busy working, you got to make money, you got to do this, you got to get money, you got to get for this, that, and the third. You know, the children out of control, this thing, you got to work on them, you got to do this, you got to do that. People doing everything but what they should be doing and concentrating on these scriptures. No matter if you work, whatever you do, you still have time to go over these spiritual lessons that you're getting to be prepared for when it goes down. You're not going to follow the wrong people and be led to these concentration camps. Deuteronomy 28 and 1 says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." That's what we got next right there. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken, meaning listen, unto the voice of the Most High thy power. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. We ain't blessed. So this is the kingdom right here. That's why most of the time I never went over this. Hardly. I think I went over it one time. I don't even think I went all the way through verse 14. Because of the condition that we in by not following the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and think you're going to make it to the kingdom. These are the people that's going to make it to the kingdom. Those that hear the Most High's commandments and do the commandments according to as it is written. That's the whole duty of man, to keep his commandments. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee seven ways. This is what we got to look at, coming back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The Most High shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses and in all that thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. This is what we want. We want to be put in our land to be blessed and have the things that's written here for the blessing, because we are the ones that's righteous in following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, if we endure to the end. But it ain't just not the end yet, so ain't nobody endured to the end. The Most High shall establish thee and holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, thy power, and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Most High, Thaahwam, and they shall be afraid of thee. Ain't nobody afraid of us. We have no right. Ain't nobody afraid of us. You hear what he said? The people will be afraid of us. Ain't nobody afraid of us. And the Most High shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, the children. One man will bring forth thousands of babies, and two men a whole nation. Yes. He said, and the Most High shall make thee plenteous in goods, and in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers to give thee. That's what we're waiting on. The Most High shall open unto thee his good treasure, that heaven to give the rain unto thy land in its season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. Because we don't have the riches that the Most High will endow us with. They might depend on us. That's why it tells you, come on. You better understand this. This is real. Isaiah 14:1. For the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. That's what we're waiting on. This is what you're going to be working with, not just in your talk, what you got to say, but in your body. Indeed, doing some action to be put in the land of Israel. He said, he will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers, these other nations, shall be joined with them, and they shall flee to the house of Jacob. Let's think. What the Most High just said. We're going to be giving them whatever they need. From whatever they do to give to us, we're going to give back to them whatever they need to survive, to do what it says they're going to do. And the people shall take them, to the Israelites, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants, men slaves, and handmaids, women slaves. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's the kingdom. That's why, according to your works, you want to be there. Most High will. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest. We're going to have rest from thy sorrow. Because ain't going to be no more tears in the kingdom. No more tears. That part of the body going to just go. You ain't going to never cry again. You ain't going to never be sorrowful again. And from thy fear, you ain't going to never be afraid. And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. There's a hard bondage we made to serve. And it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb. We've got to look at all this in retrospect of how, according to our works, we can receive the benefit of what it is that's written in the What was that? This is the benefit of our works. I mean, you're not just doing this in vain. It's the benefits of our works. Zechariah 8:22. Thus saith the Most High Power of hosts of armies. In those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew or an Israelite, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that the Most High Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is with you. You hear that? 10 men going to be taking hold of us. That's why I said they're going to plead to us. Oh, yeah. Isaiah 45. So there's a benefit in this. It's not something that we just talking and there's no benefit. There's benefit for those that understand these scriptures, understand the formula that the Most High has laid out for us. You can't let nobody take away this from you. Isaiah 45:14. Thus said the Most High, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over with unto thee, and they shall be thine.